and welcome back to the Football Chat Podcast. It is episode 39 and we are here on a very hot and sunny Monday afternoon. It's a day of the playoff final. That's why I'm sporting the Luton strip, and yeah, very excited for that. But we're here with the podcast that's going out on the Wednesday, episode 39. Making good progress on the way to 50, so that's good. And of course today we are continuing on with our alphabet of the world's best players. So if you haven't checked out already, the last 2 weeks we did A to E and then we did F to J.
Yes.
Yeah, J. So this week we have letters K through to O. So we're compiling a list of the world's best players, well, an alphabet of the world's best players, and yeah, this is part 3 of the 5-part series. Then we'll look at some of the scores from the weekend, the title races across Europe, stuff like that, before finishing up as always with FPL. For sure, should we jump right into our alphabet then? I'll let you start us off as always with your letter K.
Look for the surname, and
yes.
I picked someone who's had a
Important to remember that.
great season since joining this club from January. I have put gimme a ginger from Sweden. It's Dejan Kulusevski.
Should have just for the song.
Is my
Brilliant song. That's what I tried to put a lanyard in an E just for the song, but yeah,
it is a good chant for the Tottenham fans, to be fair to them. But yeah, Kulusevski has been incredible on the right of that Tottenham front three since he joined them in January. Obviously, he is only on loan at Tottenham at the moment, but he will be a permanent come next season.
Yeah.
Very, very good signing. And although he doesn't get as many goals and assists as Kane and Son do, he is still a vital part of that front three for me in terms of just the build-up.
To be fair, he's got 8 assists since January, which is a very impressive statistic in my opinion. But yeah, I think he just adds something which no other winger in that team has ever done. Like Lamea, Berve, Mora.
That's the thing. You
so on.
always hear Kane and Son talked about as a duo.
Yeah, but now they're starting to become a trio. And I think Kulusevski complements the two of them nicely because he brings something else. With Son, you've got dribbling, amazing finishing, but also an eye for a pass. Kane has kind of developed his creativity recently.
Thing is though, it works as well for Tottenham because usually when Kane drops deep, you'd only have Son who can push on. But now you've got both Son and Kulusevski that can push on when Kane drops deep. Really helps.
I think Kulusevski's a very good creator because I know Kane's been developing that side of his game and Son's alright at it, but in my opinion, Kulusevski's a much better creator, and I think that's why he's got so many assists. But also, he's a better finisher than any right wingers they've had there before.
Definitely.
So he has got involved in the goals. So yeah, I think it's been a very, very good addition. I've also gone Tottenham, but I've not gone Dejan Kulusevski, obviously. I've gone Harry Kane.
Kind of what we've just talked about.
Pretty much. I mean, one of the most lethal finishers
Definitely.
in Europe since about 2016. I think the guy will overtake Alan Shearer in terms of goals in the Premier League. He's well on his way to do that, and he's got a good few years left in his career. Kane often gets clowned on for his lack of trophies, but I think loyalty is something that we're lacking in the modern game, and I think he does embody that. He's a depiction of that, so I think that's important.
And I'll be honest, under Conte,
and it's not his fault they've not won trophies.
Yeah, under Conte with that Tottenham team, you never know. I see next season they could win a Carabao Cup even, or an FA Cup. Who knows? Obviously, I don't think they'll be up there for the Prem. I do think they will get top 4.
He could have silverware come December.
Yes, with England.
Because England bringing it home. Who knows? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I do think they will beat Arsenal to top 4 this season.
Interesting.
Because obviously at the time of recording we haven't seen Arsenal-Newcastle yet.
No, that's still to come tonight.
But I think that'll be a tough game for them, and I think Everton on the final day is very tough. I believe they're at home.
Yeah.
Because I think if they're away, that is going to be a very difficult game.
Both, I think they're either both. No, they're both away. I think. That was.
They're away they're away against Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then
they're either both home or both away. I seem to remember.
They're home at Everton.
And Tottenham.
Tottenham are away to Norwich. That doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, Carrow Road's a bit of a fortress, mate.
Oh, piss!
But imagine Arsenal to go to Goodison Park though. I mean, I thought the same for Brentford, and look at what happened. That was an absolute mare. I mean, we'll get onto that a little later once we've finished our current bit of the alphabet.
Yeah. I think Coolers FC and Kane are kind of standard. They've both had great seasons, and both play their roles in that Tottenham front three.
Should we move on to L then?
Yes, L. I've gone for an ex-Tottenham player, now at Sevilla, and the only reason I've chucked him in is because I remembered him because he scored a Rabona against Arsenal in the North London derby last season, and he got goal of the season for it. It's Eric Lamela. Not a good footballer.
Shout.
He's got a bag of skills, though. You know, tricks and flicks.
There is players lacking at L, because I had a good long think. And I think first names, obviously, you've got Messi, Lionel Messi, Leonardo Bonucci, even Leonardo Bellerti if you want.
And also, it's really hard to...
In terms of surnames, lacking.
We're only allowing ourselves to have one per club. It's very hard to pick teams that we haven't already picked.
I think by Z we might be struggling, but... because I've already picked a Roma player. But yeah, my L then, this is quite strange, but I've also gone for an ex-Tottenham player, currently playing in La Liga. I've got Giovanni Lo Celso.
This is really weird. I don't know how this is very
I've been really impressed by his performances for Villarreal this season. I think they'll definitely go there on a permanent, and I think he'll be part of the deal, which sees Pau Torres join Tottenham.
I think he's been a big role in Villarreal's...
Yeah, he has played a big part. Indeed.
Definitely on the left-hand side.
He's completely reinvented his position, kind of, under Emery. Mainly down the centre at both PSG and then Tottenham, but at Villarreal, he's kind of played anywhere across that in the 4-4-2 formation they play, and he's done really well this season. In the Champions League games we've seen, I've been very impressed by him, like the Liverpool one, the Bayern one. Been very impressed by his performances. So that's why I've thrown him in at L. Do you want to go next then with M? I think this might be the most obvious one.
Yeah, I've gone very obvious. Of course, the greatest footballer to grace the fair football.
Or one Mason Mount in it.
One of the best. Of course, I've gone for Lionel Messi.
Incorrect.
I mean, obviously, usually we sit here and go how good they are. Messi says it all, really.
Yeah.
Why he's in there. World class. As I said, one of the best. Not really much else to say, to be honest. I'm not going to sit here and say because he has been. To be fair, he hasn't been great at PSG, but I think that Barcelona, he was sensational to watch on the ball. It was beautiful.
Yeah. 100%, one of the best players, the best player in many people's eyes of all time. Makes a lot of sense that he's in this list. M has a lot of quality though. You've got Mbappe in there, who's obviously another massive shout.
I'll be honest, I completely
even PSG, you've got Marquinhos. Compared to L, where we're going I love Lamela, mate. M is quite filled with talent. I mean, if Dries Mertens.
Lautaro
Martinez, Emi Martinez, Lissandro Martinez, John McGinn,
Josef Martinez.
There's loads, but I have gone with the real greatest player to ever grace a beautiful game. Plays for Chelsea. It's Mason Mount. I mean, this is a very bad time to upload this because it wasn't a great performance against. Well, no, in fact, I think that's completely wrong. I know I've just said it, but I think it's completely wrong. People all day have been coming up to me and going, "Well, he makes a Mount bottle job," and I've seen it all over Twitter. I don't agree. How we can disregard the fact that Mason Mount was fantastic for 120 minutes because he missed one penalty is absolutely ludicrous. He was the one player who put in everything into that game. He's the one with fight, desire, passion. He's running after every single ball, even at 120 minutes, and yet all that disregarded because he missed a pen, which is lotteries. But then no one talks about Mane missing a pen because Liverpool won. Yeah. So it's just like, well, Mane got lucky, but we don't talk about that.
Dave also missed a penalty for Chelsea as well.
Yeah, and yet that's been swept under the rug, or it's been said that he's somehow a shit player because he missed a penalty. I just don't get it. It's a penalty.
The thing about that is, with football fans and Chelsea fans, is people saying that we lost the game because Mason missed a penalty. For starters, as I just said,
The amount of balls also he put on a plate for like Pulley and Lukaku who didn't put it away.
We should have that game wrapped up after 90 minutes, and I hate people that say you lost because of the penalty. Because you never lose a game because you lose on penalties. You lose the game because you didn't get it done in the 90 minutes, and then you had to go to penalties, and you lost on pens.
But
you never lose
it's also mainly Havertz fans that are slagging him off, which really annoys me that there seems to be a civil war in amongst Chelsea at the moment. I mean, Chelsea Twitter is an absolute
So they aren't Chelsea fans,
mess,
they are Havertz fans.
Yeah. I agree with the Havertz fans, but there's kind of a civil war broken out between the ones that love the English players, which is apparently a thing, and then the ones that hate the English players.
I don't get why
because it's edgy.
We just can't.
No one normal is going to engage in this. And if they do have a say, like they put something sensible in there in the debate, then they'll just get something like, "Oh, but pace and pound is rubbish plus ratio." That's just stupid. But yeah,
I mean, what I hate is I don't see the point in supporting the team at that point. You can only support half of it.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't like the people that go, "Oh, we're playing this player, we're going to lose today," because I think. For example, Marcus Alonso is rubbish.
I disagree.
Is awful.
He always put. In fact, you cannot say that after his FA Cup performance. He was stunning in the FA Cup. He put an absolute shift.
Usually, defensively, he's poor.
Yeah. He did help Salah.
Depending on who, no matter who it is, if they're on the pitch in a Chelsea shirt, I will support them. Same for England. If they're on the pitch in an England shirt,
I'll question the manager's decisions if it goes wrong, and I'll question them before if I disagree with them. But they're not, if they play well, and also I'm not going to be sat there in the game like hoping someone makes a mistake so I can go and attack them on Twitter.
If anything, I just, okay, maybe, or I don't, like in the FA Cup final, we sat here going, don't know if Trevor Chalobah should be starting today, but we will see. Not really sure about that decision.
And he's played really well. Other than he got caught out by Diaz twice, even though Liverpool fans who I've seen today have tried to emphasise that as 50 times, and Diaz definitely should have scored. But then Diaz's shooting was off and thingy. Anyway, we've kind of gone into the FA Cup now, but Mason Mount, some fantastic numbers in the Prem this season.
Chelsea's best player, I'd probably say this year.
But apparently because he's not got 50 goals, he's not great. Even though Havertz has put up pathetic numbers for someone that's supposed to be clear. And I'm not. I love Kai Havertz, but not gonna. Don't agree with Kai Havertz fans usually.
No. Okay, into N then. That rhymed. That was cool.
Yes.
I rhymed N.
N and N. Well done.
I've gone for an interesting one. Again, N was very hard to pick a player that wasn't at a team that we've already chosen and that is good at football.
Well, your options are limited to Neymar.
Yeah, but I'd already gone Messi, so I couldn't go PSG.
And I don't rate Neymar, so I couldn't go Neymar.
Yeah. I've gone for Leicester City defensive midfielder, Wilfred Ndidi.
Also, we'd have made this so much easier on ourselves if we'd done first names.
Yeah, we would.
N'Golo Kante. That's it, but there's my pick.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Yeah.
Very good defensive midfielder. Obviously, this season he hasn't played too much because I know he got injured. But I still think he's a very good player. Obviously, he doesn't put up great numbers for goals and assists because he is a defensive midfielder. But he plays really well. I've always liked him. I think Leicester are a lot stronger with him in the team. I think he's played a big role this season, especially when Leicester haven't had any centre backs. Having a defensive midfielder in front of the maybe not so experienced and not very good centre backs, I think was very important. And I think he's a big part of Brendan Rodgers' side.
My favourite football manager, Benjamin Rodgers. What a guy.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers' side.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really like Ndidi, and I think Chelsea obviously looking at a DM option this summer. If Ndidi's available for less than Rice if Ndidi's around 50 mil, and Rice is at 150, I don't see why we don't go and get Wilfred Ndidi. Shamani at 70, I think, is still our best option, but Ndidi is certainly a good player. I have a legendary goalkeeper in between the sticks. It's Bayern Munich and Germany shot stopper Manuel Neuer.
I completely forgot Neuer.
I think this is a really good pick from me. I think Neuer is absolutely quality. Over the last decade, I'd say only Casillas has been a better goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And Casillas barely played the decade, so I guess you could argue it was Neuer's decade to be the best. So yeah, I mean De Gea pushes him.
Yeah.
Black was only really around for half the decade, but yeah, I do think Neuer over the last 10 years has been one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Of course, a Champions League winner, 2-time Champions League winner with Bayern Munich in 2013 and in 2020. So 2-time Champions League winner for him. He's also a World Cup winner with Germany. I mean, he's pretty much he's won every trophy in football.
Yeah.
So I think that says a lot about his career. Obviously, other than the Conference League and Europa League, but I mean, he could still win them if he moves to Tottenham. Then he's got a chance. It looks like they could be in the Champions League now. So
I think they will.
if he moves to Man United, then he's got a good chance of being in one of those competitions. Yeah, come next season, maybe if it all goes to shit under 10.
Yeah, Neuer, fantastic goalkeeper. I do feel like half the time in the Bundesliga, he does get a deck chair out and just sit there while Bayern score 7.
Yeah, I mean, he's played in one of the most dominant sides, but equally, I think people underestimate how it's still a challenge.
Yeah.
For Bayern. They're just really good.
Yes, he doesn't do much, but when he is needed to do something, he does it.
Exactly. And I think his development into the first ever, well, not really the first ever sweeper, but, well, I guess so. Yeah. The first, I mean, Valdez did it before him, but Neuer was the guy who made it famous.
Yeah.
And he took it to the most extreme scenarios where he's just stood on the halfway line for most of the game in that Bayern team.
Yeah, and I do think though, and I think his experience will help to train up their younger keepers, the likes of Newell.
I was going to say, yeah, Newell is a very good option for.
I'm sure they've got some younger goalkeepers as well.
Yeah, certainly a very good goalkeeper, still in the Germany national team for now. I imagine Leno or ter Stegen.
Won't be Leno doesn't play, I don't get that.
No, and ter Stegen's shit, so I guess whoever's that's where the Huddersfield keeper's German. Stick him in.
Or someone. I think Bernard will leave Arsenal anyway.
But yeah, Neuer, I think he's just it makes so much sense here. And I know that Leif will like that pick if they're watching the podcast. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Last letter of this episode. Of part 3, and I've gone for the Napoli and Nigerian forward Victor Osimhen.
Oh, interesting. Your second Nigerian of the last 2 picks.
Who's we next week, guys? Cue to find out.
Have they got P? No, nothing coming straight to mind. No.
Obviously, I think Napoli have kind of fallen away and fallen out of the title race in the last couple of game weeks in the Serie A. They were right up there, mid-season, start the season, and he was a big part of that. I think he's a good player. I think he'll be big for Nigeria. They made the World Cup, didn't they?
No.
Did they not?
I don't think so. I thought Cameroon beat them. No, Cameroon beat Ivory Coast. Nigeria did make it, I think, maybe. Who knows? We'll have a look. If so, I think they've got a good chance, but I do not believe that... No, they're not there.
Oh, AFCON coming up, though.
Ghana, Cameroon, Morocco, Tunisia. No, Tunisia's not there. Senegal. No, Tunisia is. Senegal, Tunisia, Morocco, Cameroon, Ghana.
Yeah, and he's done very well. He's still only 23. Very good striker. Just trying to find some stats here this season. He's played 26 games for Napoli. Out of all those, he had 23 starts. He's got 14 goals and 2 assists. So that's not bad. 14 goals in 23 starts. Is very decent. And he's been a huge part of Napoli's title race, although obviously they are out of it now. I don't think... Do you think he'd get a bigger move anywhere to a Prem side?
I think he deserves a bigger move. I think... I was going to say Manchester United, I think, is the perfect destination for him. Because for now, he'd work really nicely in a 2 with Ronaldo. I don't think that would really suit the Ten Hag system, but maybe he could make it work. I think
I don't think Ronaldo played much longer at United.
No, I think this will be Ronaldo's last season. So Osimhen for a season working under him would be really solid.
And then season, that'd be huge. He's already a very good striker.
Yeah, but a season to work under Ronaldo.
Coach under Ronaldo, massive.
I think it'll be a big statement as well.
Yeah.
The Glazers are taking the club in the right direction.
I mean, he's valued about 50 million.
Because I have a feeling they're going to make a similar mistake as they did with Maguire, and they're going to bring in Declan Rice for 150.
How much did... Oh, it's gone again. I want to see how much Napoli paid, because I know he's valued at 50 million. They'd probably want maybe a little bit more than that.
Napoli would push it up to 80, 90 at least. I think they paid 20 mil for him, if I'm correct.
It doesn't say here.
I was going to say Transfermarkt is the best for that.
Yeah, but I can't be asked to get out now.
Okay, I think it was about 20 mil they bought him from Lille. Right? No, if it's Lille, it's 50. Got to be at least 50.
It's a bit. I've just seen this stat here. So his 14 goals this season equal how many goals Salah, Eto'o, and Weah scored.
This is just his first season, isn't it, in the Serie A?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll leave just yet then, but I mean, he could never leave. It's not unrealistic that Napoli could become a force in
Napoli proved
Serie A.
They can fight up at the front.
Lost a little bit of steam towards the end of the season, but I think
Juventus will be much stronger next season.
One or two good signings, maybe Inter lose Lautaro, maybe AC lose Leao. I mean, they're losing Kessie. That's a big miss for AC. So I think a few investments at Napoli and the wrong recruitment at Inter and AC, and they'll be challenging Juve for the title. Because I think Juve are nailed on for next season. I think Chiesa and Vlahovic, if both of them stay fit all season,
Vlahovic hasn't been that great since he come to Juventus this season.
He's not been stunning, but I don't think a settling in period is too much to worry about.
No.
We've seen strikers in the past I think it's good that he's had a half season, because I think he'll come in next season and smash it, especially without the World Cup.
Definitely.
Because he won't, obviously him and Serbia won't be travelling there, so I think the World Cup will have a bigger effect than people are expecting. Because I think like Fulham. And obviously coming up into the Premier next season, I think they've got a very good chance of staying up simply because the players that they'll have going to the World Cup are zero, I believe. Unless they could make signings that then go off, but
like even Aston Villa
right now,
many.
Well, Watkins will go.
Yeah,
I imagine Buendia will go.
Mings, Emi Martinez, Cash.
And by that point, you're looking at a core section of their team. McGinn. If Scotland get there, Douglas Luiz, and now we're looking at most of the squad are going.
Yeah, good point.
So
Keenan Davis for England. I hope not. If not, we are not bringing it.
Matt Target for Scotland. Backup goalkeeper.
I really hope he's going to permanent to Newcastle. Anyway, we're getting inside. But
that'd be an absolute steal.
Was my O. Who's your O?
I have. There's a couple O's that I was considering, but I've gone for former Chelsea attacking midfielder, also Brazilian, at Shanghai, or at least has been for a few years now. And it's Oscar. I loved him at Chelsea, Oscar. A lot of Chelsea fans absolutely hate him for leaving, but after reading his story in 442 a few years back, I grew fascinated with him because a lot of what he said resonated with me quite strongly. Like, Chelsea fans despised him for leaving. Like, he's greedy, he loves the money.
Yeah, I mean, also
But when you hear about the immense poverty his family went through when he was young, and it makes so much sense that he'd want to secure the money so he knows that his family and his future family are secure for many, many years. So people might go, he's done it just for the money. But when you actually look at it from a human level, at the end of the day, football is his job. You're telling me that, if the current job you work at, if they offer to quadruple your salary...
You're off.
And you've just got to move to a different country, and you're doing the same job, and you know that country you'll be worshipped so much more in, as one of the leading professionals in your country, of course you're going to head over there.
Yeah.
Like, it makes so much sense, so...
Also, I know I'd say him for the money, but I still don't hate him for it. And I understand why he did it. And obviously that is the reason he went. He went for the money because he could help his family.
It's not the great football industry.
Let's leave the Premier League champions.
Who is it that left that became a citizen there and is now a baller? It's a centre back.
Oh,
no, it's a centre back. He's English. He headed over there and now he's in the Chinese national team. But I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He was like some bang average championship defender, lower like Prem, and he's made a real name for himself out there. I think his name starts with a B, but I can't remember. If I remember that at any point during the pod.
Yeah, I think he was very good for Chelsea. Obviously, won the Premier League, won the FA Cup. Was he? But he wasn't there for the Champions League winning, was he?
Oscar, no. Well, he has got a
win the Prem.
No, he didn't get Europa League. That's got a Prem though. Didn't he? Yep, 2016 Chelsea did win. 2015, sorry, won the Premier League.
And Mourinho.
14-15 we won it.
15-16.
He'd left by 16-17.
Because 15-16 was Leicester.
15-16 was Leicester. I think we won it either side. Or it might have been Liverpool City. I can't remember. So the City wins are... Yeah, it wasn't Liverpool, sorry. The City wins are so unrememberable.
Yeah. Oh, look, they went 5-0. That's fun.
Unmemorable. Yeah, because I'm just like, okay, well, City won it that year. What else? What happened that year?
They won
Nothing.
in 2020, which was still COVID.
The only one I actually remember...
the Liverpool one was a little bit less thingy as well, because obviously that was still all COVID times.
Yeah, in 2020.
One.
No, City won 2021.
Oh, yeah,
Liverpool won 2020.
2020.
It was... Yeah, it's, the only one, the City one I remember is Aguero in 2012. The Aguero, Balotelli, Aguero!
Yeah, that is the alphabet this week.
Yes! Of course, we'll be doing the next set of letters after that, which is like P, Q, R, S, and T.
Yes.
So make sure to...
And then it'll be U, V, W, Y, X, Z.
Yes. Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
On to the other stuff then. City. When we watched it live, so we won't go on for about it too long, but City drew with West Ham. I don't think this will have any impact on the title race, but it happened.
Who knows? Well, it depends what Villa can do.
But it doesn't.
Villa gave Liverpool a good game.
Mate, Broy's going to get a hat-trick for Southampton against Liverpool. Title race is going to be over before the final weekend, and everyone's going to be bored.
What I can see happening is Liverpool lose to Southampton, as you said, but then City will go lose to Villa on the final day.
Yeah, but it won't make a difference at that point.
And it'll be like, oh, Liverpool had beaten Southampton, they'd have won the league.
Yeah, but no, because I think City will rest on the final day. With nothing to play for, they'll send their players off on an early holiday.
They've got nothing to rest for. It'd be more like Liverpool would rest for the Champions
Yeah,
League.
Liverpool would obviously rest, but I think City would also. Because might as well give some kids a run out.
Cole Palmer and...
Exactly, they've won the league. You'll probably see a few people try, they'll try and get some games up. I'm thinking, why the hell's Fernandinho been playing recently?
I think City have thought they already won
If he gets his 5 games,
looking at that team they went into, I think they thought they'd already won it.
Against West Ham?
Yeah.
I think they realised the West Ham result doesn't really matter. Because they could afford to lose that and make up for it.
I think they'll take the draw saying they were 2-0 down at half time.
I think they're still a strong enough side that should have beaten them.
Yeah.
But in the end, West Ham played better and they deserved to win. But yeah, Liverpool, Southampton, we obviously haven't seen. You guys will know the result of that, so you might be laughing at us, but I think City will win the league now.
Yeah.
I don't really see a way that Liverpool do it. On Liverpool, obviously winning the FA Cup.
That was sad.
Not much to talk about. We debriefed at the end of the FA Cup stream.
Game was just back and forth, and then penalties, potluck, Liverpool win.
Yeah. But then the Women's FA Cup, we were live on Sunday, but we went off just before the end there, when it all got interesting. It was obviously 2-2 in normal time. City managed to claw that back right in the 89th minute.
I mean, I have seen Aaron Cuthbert's goal for Chelsea. Chelsea's second goal. Yeah. Great finish. Really good finish.
Yeah, I've seen that too. And then it was Sam Kerr scored in extra time. 99th minute. One for Chelsea. Absolutely
domestic double for Chelsea woman.
Very good season. Hopefully, with Bowley investment this summer, UCL next season become the first English club, academy. I believe, to win the Women's Champions League.
Arsenal did it.
Arsenal 05-ish kind of time. Yeah. They won one, so second club.
Emma Hayes, fantastic manager. I do hope eventually, and I do think she's good enough to get a job in one of the top 4 leagues in England.
I disagree, but no, I don't think that she's not good enough. I think she has no desire to do that. Like, what's in it for her?
Yeah, good point.
The constant abuse from away supporters, because we know what football fans are like. Football fans are absolute pricks. Exactly. Well, even the Prem.
Yeah.
Every club has fans that would not be on board with that. Like, you'd be booed by some of your own fans. There's nothing in it for her. She's winning she's won 15 trophies in 10 years at Chelsea. Adored by every single supporter that goes to the game. Recognised one of the best in the Women's League. I still think she's got unfinished business. She wants that Champions League win.
Definitely.
I see no place for her in the men's game. I think she's got the talent to. I don't see why she'd be interested in it.
Done is
I think we'd more like to see a young female coach in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think what she'll do is she's done everything she can for women's football. You know, she's been the front and centre of it. You know, winning it all, taking it very far, and then I think, as you said, I think she'll pass the baton on to a younger female manager, and then they will take it a step further and get themselves.
I could see her getting a punditry job after she's done what she wants at Chelsea, because I think she's a very bubbly personality.
Yes.
I think that having her as kind of the face of the Women's Super League coverage on Sky would obviously be huge. I don't know if she has any passion in that, or whether she'd prefer moving up into like a director's role at the women's side as they become more of a global entity and women's football becomes a bigger sport. But yeah, I don't know what really her, without talking to her, without getting her in there and asking her, what do you want to do?
Should do that, mate.
It's too hot, we'll wait till the winter.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be sat here in the summer. It's mentally hot today.
She'll have to manage her in the World Cup. Oh no, it's not mental. Women aren't going to.
Yeah, I was going to say, she will have to manage.
Oh, I'm sure she's got a day off to come to the studio and do a podcast.
Sure. You do know footballers and football managers do get days off. It's not every minute of every day they're either playing or
with their
training.
Family rather than come on some podcasts.
No, because you have media commitments. If they take out the interview with Sky and put in the interview with TFC, that's the media commitment. There, sorted. But yeah, back to the men's league, back to the Premier League. Everton in complete capitulation.
Yeah.
So, Burnley obviously lost to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Leeds drew in the last minute against Brighton.
Big point against Brighton.
Everton had a chance to get a win and pull away, and they were leading 1-0 up. Then Jared Branthwaite got sent off. I haven't actually seen the red, but that's really stupid of him to go and get sent off. I've not seen anyone complaining that it was a red card.
I mean, we've talked about Leeds doing it with Dan James and Luke Ayling. Just being stupid. Being really stupid and getting sent off in big games where their teams need points, need to win. And that's what Jared Braithwaite did.
But I think it's more criminal to do it in a game where Everton were winning. You know, at least Ayling and James, they got frustrated because the team was losing.
Yeah.
And realistically, even if they were on the pitch, what real difference? I mean, obviously we can say, maybe Leeds would have won it. But realistically, what difference would it have made? But Everton going down to 10 men in that moment, that completely changed the game. Brentford then levelled. Everton then to a lot of character to bring it back to 2-1.
Got a penalty, Richarlison scored it.
Brentford levelled again, and then
oh my God.
Solomon Rondon, man. Brentford got a third. Solomon Rondon decided to get subbed. He got subbed on, thinking, roll the dice, striker on for a right back. Let's see, despite being on 10 men, whether Everton could get a draw here. Within 4 minutes, man is dead on the floor.
Stupid.
It's just
stupid.
Yeah.
How he's still in the Premier League, I do not know, because he is an awful footballer and he's an idiot.
But yeah, within 4 minutes, off he went, and that was it. Everton out.
Big drop of points there, because the they got given an open goal by Leeds and Burnley dropping points, and Rondon's come on and smashed it well over the bar.
I've just seen something quite interesting. I was going to try and find the table, but hang on.
So I don't know what he's thinking. You come on as a substitute, as a striker, you think, okay, my manager's subbing on here to get us a goal, to get us a point in the relegation scrap. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to 2-foot someone into next Tuesday and get sent off, because that's a good idea.
Yeah, it was stupid from him. So the current Premier League table down the bottom, Burnley with a game in hand on Everton, on Leeds, have a point off them. They're then 2 points off Everton, and they're on the same amount of games as Everton. But if Burnley win, Everton lose, and then Leeds win on the final day, Everton lose to Arsenal, which is a realistic possibility. Everton with Arsenal and let me have a gander. Palace. If they beat Palace, they stay in the Premier League for another season.
I think Everton.
But they're going to go down next season.
I think Everton will be I think Leeds are the ones in big trouble.
Yeah, because I think Burnley will beat Villa on Thursday.
I don't, but I still think Leeds are in big trouble.
I think they will.
It's a really tough one. It's going to be Burnley or Leeds, I think, now. I think Everton will be okay. Leeds, I don't really know. I think Burnley have done I don't know why they sacked Sean Dyche. But I do think Mike Jackson and Ben Mee and all the other coaches have done a great job to keep them in the fight, keep them alive, and obviously they have got that big game in hand against Villa. Leeds, just in terms of the season, I mean, under Bielsa, it all went wrong. Jesse Marsch has come in and tried his best, and it's been a little better, but still not good enough. And obviously, as we said, idiotic decisions like James and Ayling,
cost them big time.
Stupid tackles.
But I think Leeds will do really well next season. We know their recruitment's really, really good. I think without injuries, their squad would have been fine this season. But Bielsa refused to switch system, and it hasn't worked because when you don't have the personnel to play the positions and the squad aren't going to invest that, and you've got to change the system. Just can't work any other way, and he just refused. Too stubborn, and then that cost him. But I love Bielsa. I love his systems, but not the right manager for the job.
I think you're right. I think if they go down, I think out of Norwich, Watford, and Leeds are the most. I think Leeds would all come up as champions.
Yeah,
definitely. I think Watford. I don't know about Watford. Norwich. I think they'll come straight back up with Dean Smith.
I think Norwich will top the league. I think Watford are going to be right up there. I really rate Rob Edwards. There's two ways this goes. One way this goes is that Watford become one of the greatest championship sides ever and Rob Edwards is heralded as a hero. Or the second way, and this is how a lot of young manager appointments in the championship go. Yeah. A lot of young appointments in the championship go is it sinks like a lead balloon, the guy's written off forever, and Watford will be like 18th, and then Hodgson will come back, shoot back up the table, finishing like a ninth. Like West Brom struggled this season for parts, but because they tried to stick with Duncan Ferguson or something, I think his name was, and it just hasn't worked. But I really like Rob Edwards. I think he's a very good manager. I think Watford will do well next season. I mean, they're going to be without legendary goalkeeper Ben Foster. He's announced he will be leaving Watford, and I think he'll either take he'll either go to the MLS and be the best goalkeeper in the league there, or he'll become a third goalkeeper at one of the big clubs to fill the English quota. Yeah. Like Man City might cycle out, get Foster in for Carson. Also, Foster does have that added thing of social media. He is a big presence now in the online space. I think that could work. But I think the MLS is very attractive because I reckon they'd let him put the GoPro in the back of the net.
Or put it on him.
Yeah. If it's America, so they might give him a helmet.
Just let him whack it on his head.
Yeah. They might do that. But if not, we obviously know #United. He will be joining them at some point. He said that multiple times. So I think Foster eventually will end up there. But I think he's still got a few more years at the top level left.
Yeah.
And he is now like 38.
Think so.
But I think 3-4 years in the MLS.
Yeah.
Orlando or something just wins everything. Maybe even Miami, I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. But Rob Edwards, give your thoughts. Go on.
Don't rate him.
Why?
I don't rate him. I think it is a very risky appointment. And
there's obviously risk attached, but there's risk attached with every managerial appointment.
Yes, he won. He was great at Forest Green, and they won League 2 by a landslide. But winning League 2 is good, but it's a big step up to then try and to bring him in to try and get you back into the Premier League. That is a big step.
I think he's made the same mistake that the Cowley brothers made and that Nathan Jones made. Because the Cowley brothers tried to jump from Lincoln to Huddersfield, Danny Cowley, and not only did it backfire massively for him, but it backfired massively for his club that he's left. I think the same for Nathan Jones at Luton. I absolutely love Luton. Nathan Jones left, went for a bigger club, thought he was going to do great, thought his dog's bollocks, ended up back at Luton when he got sacked, and now look where he is.
And everyone loved him.
A win away from the playoff finals.
Problem was,
at the time of recording,
Cowley, is he also left his brother.
Yeah,
that didn't end well between those two, and then he didn't come. They didn't want to come back to Lincoln.
Well, just finishing off my point, Rob Edwards, I think next season, Forest Green, losing him is going to be tough for them.
Bottom of the league.
I don't think they'll be bottom of the league. I think they'll play good football. They've recruited really well. They've got some good money behind that team. I think Forest Green will be Premier League by 2025. But I think they could.
I'd have said the same with Rob Edwards as manager.
What I think Rob Edwards will end up back there by the end of this season. If it doesn't go well at Watford, he'll end up back there. And equally, I think Forest Green could do amazing. They could bring in a really good manager. But Rob Edwards will either take Watford back up to the Prem and then be one of the best young coaches around.
I'd love to see him do well.
And an option for Man City, I think, in a few
I
years.
do think he's a good coach. When I say I don't rate him...
And I think Watford's recruitment is sensational. Occasionally, they get it wrong, the Ponzos. I don't disagree with that. But I think if they give him time and money, they'll do well.
When I said I rated it, well, I don't rate him. I rate him as a coach, I just don't rate him at this level. I don't rate him as a championship manager.
It's impossible to rate him at the moment.
Although equally, they want him to be a Premier League manager. I don't think he's up to that quality.
I think he is.
And obviously, I want him to do well, and I hope he does well. And it'd be great to see him in the Premier League in 2 seasons, and win the championship next season.
Also, he's missed out on the chance to work with Hector Bayer in. Don't do that, mate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Forest Green will struggle without him, and I don't think I think it's a big step too soon.
Yeah. On the topic of right backs and co, Azpilicueta, obviously now leaving Chelsea. Another one that I think will play for hashtag possibly maybe one day. He'll definitely be manager or coach or something because he does own part of that team. Imagine a team with Foster and Aspie in League.
Premier League legends.
Well, I think because they could realistically be like the 7th, 8th tier.
Yeah. Where's Gareth Barry when you need him?
No, but you could convince a couple other old players to make the way down there.
John Terry,
Cameron Jerome, because I think he'll leave Luton at the end of the season. I don't think he's Prem quality.
Another thing.
I think he might do one season with Luton.
John Terry. Speaking of mistakes, obviously he's not a manager. He left Villa
he was going to get a job.
He left Villa as an assistant manager role, but to try and pursue rolling management, he just hasn't got one. I think that was a very risk. I think he should have waited until he got an offer.
Tattered past has put him in a bit of spot there. And also, I think him and Gerrard together at Liverpool would be fun.
I mean, I've always wanted to see Lampard and Terry as a manager duo at a club.
I think Terry at Everton would be a good shout.
Both from there.
Show Jared Branthwaite how to become a good centre-half.
Michael Keane will be Euros 2024.
Well, no, but realistically, Ben Godfrey, very good young talent there. Branthwaite, very good young talent there. Mina, very good young talent there. You bring in a centre-half coach.
And you see what he did at Villa.
A heck centre-half.
As soon as he came in, Villa was much better defensively. He turned Ezri Konsa
gone,
into a
and
very good...
Mings has gone back to playing like he did at Ipswich.
Konsa hasn't been great either, and I hope he's alright.
Now, isn't he? Yeah.
He won't play for the rest of the season, which is not great.
Yeah. Continuing on...
we'll keep going.
Scottish... We're going for England. Let's go up to Scotland. Because we have the Europa League final. On the day this is going out, we will be live for it. The stream page will be up at the time of posting. So go check that out. Leave a like. Make sure to hit set reminder so you will be reminded when the stream starts. But yeah, speaking of Rangers fan, I saw this really wholesome story. I thought we'd just share on the podcast. Was travelled to see them lift UEFA Super Cup at the time. In 72, he was 22 years old at the time, went and saw that. Now he's 72 years old in 2022 as they head to the Europa League final. So yeah, 22 in 72, now 72 in 22, which is really fun. I thought that was just a really nice story. There's a nice clip of him getting the tickets because his family bought him the tickets. He opens it up, his face is really happy, he's crying and shit. He got on the sun as well, so that's fun.
And hopefully for him, Rangers win it.
I kind of want to see Rangers win it. I just think it's funny because I don't care for Scottish football, but I hate Celtic.
I think it would say a lot to people because everyone sits and goes Scottish football shit, all that. If they then went and won the Europa League, which teams like Chelsea have won and Sevilla, West Ham got to the semis, and they've beaten Leipzig.
I think if I think that's a lot of it's down to Van Bronckhorst.
Yes,
With Gerrard at the club, Rangers wouldn't have got past the round of 16.
Because Gerrard's crap. Not crap, he's not great. Championship.
Villa fan calls Steven Gerrard crap.
I don't rate Gerrard.
Obviously, you've just referred to him as crap.
Good point.
It'd be mental if you don't. I think he's quality, but he's crap.
But I think Scottish football is rubbish. But I think Rangers as a football team are good. I don't know. To be honest, I think they've been so focused on winning the Europa League. That's why they've lost the league to Celtic.
Yeah, I agree. Final thing then before we get into FPL and round up today's podcast. It's been a long one. Yeah, speaking of title races, it's the Serie A title race coming down to the wire this weekend. Just 2 points separate the Milan sides, and we're going to be live for it. We've got the Premier League final day. We'll be live from 3:30 on that one, 4 o'clock kickoffs on the Sunday. Make sure to be there. It's going to be a vibey day because straight after those games finish at 6, we're going to go off air for about 15 minutes. Then we'll be back on at 6:15 live for the Serie A title race. So it's going to be a hectic one. It's going to be very fun 5 hours of streaming.
Yeah.
Make sure to get in there. Make sure to join us for some of the fun. And we'll see who wins all the titles. Of course, the Prem one could be over by then, depending on the Liverpool result on Tuesday, which I really hope Liverpool have won, because then it's like, a point in it. What could happen? What if City lose 17-0 and Liverpool draw? Oh. So that should be interesting. So make sure to join us then. Right, FPL, bit of a weird one. There's still some games to play, but we could talk about what we've seen so far. In fact, just quickly, quick run through of transfers.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski to Barcelona. What do you think? Seems like the deal is could be on. That's something that's being rumoured.
That could be a good deal.
Speaking of strikers moving clubs, Gabriel Jesus is a pretty much done deal at Arsenal now. Also bringing in Aaron Hickey, very good young left back at Bologna. He's Scottish, good backup to Tierney, and Marquinhos, the young Brazilian right winger. Also in talks, and Molina from Udinese, Tielemans from Leicester, Dybala free agent, and Florian Grilic free agent. So some brilliant deals going on at the moment at Arsenal. They are, doing some very interesting business. Other news, Anthony and Timber both expected to join Manchester United with Ten Hag.
Huge for United.
I agree. That will be pretty massive, indeed.
Yes.
And Kunku named as Player of the Season as well. That's a thing.
That is a thing, yes.
That's the thing that's happened. And Villa lead the race for Luis Suarez as his contract runs out, although Sevilla and Inter are also interested.
But I bet we'll keep Watkins and Ings, and we'll play Watkins on the left, Ings on the right, and Suarez. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Be interesting to see. But FPL, let me get my team up.
I'm having an alright week. I'm on 23 so far, still a few games to go, which is 1 point above the average of 22. My whole team has been carried by Kane captained, who got me 14.
Oh, I've just had a depression moment.
What?
Yeah, my team, I'm on 34,
smashing
quite a... Well, not really smashing it. I've got Jared Bowen 14 on my bench. I didn't see him getting 2 goals against City. I was also pissed off by Leeds scoring in the last minute. That took away Cucurella's assist. He got 2 bonus points and got me 4. But, that 4 more points for a clean sheet. It's a very nice 8 there, which would have been lovely. I've still got Reece James and Mason Mount to play against Leicester. I've got Saka against Newcastle tonight at the time of recording. Still got Brownhill against Villa tomorrow at the time of posting. I've got Mitchell against Everton, Schmeichel against Chelsea.
Where are your points from?
I've got 7 from Kane.
Yeah.
1 from Jesus, 12 from Richarlison. Genius by me in the last minute for the deadline. Thought I'd get Richarlison in for Lacazette. Yeah. Brought him in. Did it for me. Very good job from him. 12 points so far. He's still got to go against Palace as well, which could also prove to be fruitful. I think I might get rid of him for next week though. I have a feeling he's going to get himself sent off or something. But yeah, and then next week I haven't done my team yet. In terms of the league, I'm up to 200th now because it seems everyone's having a stinky week.
I'm just outside the top 400.
We didn't do it last week, which is really annoying. The way the FPL weeks worked, because it was a double game week last week, we didn't. But we did get, I think, 1 over 200 in our league, which is absolutely mental. I was going to have a quick scroll through randomly this game week. I can see you found a 78.
Sir Eben on 78. They're had a great week. They used their free hit. Their big scorers, they had Jamie Vardy on 13, Richarlison on 12, Harvey Barnes on 16, and James Maddison on 15, and also Ollie Watkins on 8. And all 5 of those players have still got a game to play. So that's a very good week for Sir Ebenezer Ogunbona.
In 255th, Hadibansi Awuda with Man Not United. Fun. 83 points this week. Let's have a look at how they've done that. They used a wildcard. They brought in Vardy 13, Richarlison 12, Harvey Barnes 16, Captain Maddison, he got 30.
That's big.
Absolute baller move for those 4 players. Then Son 3, Ings 2, Janssen 1, Cash 2, Cancelo 1, Martinez 3. I think the problem is we've not seen many goals, but we've not seen any clean sheets.
Yeah.
So very few players have, other than Leicester,
not
just pummeling Watford
not
for
really
a month.
high score, but I had to. It's 67, so it's not too low. But their name's Garden Gnome FC.
I'm sure
so
I've seen that before.
And basically, all their points, all 67 points, are mostly from Richarlison, triple captained on 36,
right,
and Harvey Barnes on 16.
Just having a quick scroll through. I don't think I'll find anything higher.
No.
It's a low week for people in FPL. A lot of goalkeepers, especially, being benched. I don't think Leicester concede in the Watford game if Schmeichel's in goal. Which case, my team's having a baller week because he's on
Jose Sarr.
He'd be on 7 points.
Who?
He also didn't play, right?
Yeah.
And my bench option's De Gea. So it looks like Schmeichel might play against Chelsea, so he might get points there, which might help me out. But yeah, it doesn't look like Bowen will get in there, unfortunately, unless Saka and Mount don't play, because he's my second sub. Made a huge error there with Bowen. Just didn't see him scoring twice against the league leaders. But that's what we're going to round up.
Yes.
Today's podcast. So a very lovely episode 39. It's very hot in here.
It is extremely.
But we're going to dip now. As this is going out on a Wednesday, so we will be live tonight for the Europa League final. Make sure to tune in. But that's about everything. Thank you all very much for watching. If you are on YouTube, make sure to head on over to the Spotify. If you're on Spotify, head on over to the YouTube. Share the love across the platforms. Tonight. Make sure to go and follow us on all the socials. Twitter, Insta, the likes.
TikTok.
Might link the TikTok now in the description as well, because we might start posting more on there. As well as making some YouTube shorts as well. So that hopefully propel us to stardom. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.